My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
Previously on Certified Noonas, we did an episode all about numbers, where we talked about shows with numbers in them and which ones that we liked. Well, we're going along that vein tonight, and we're doing colors. These are not shows about colors. I just need to specify this. These are shows that have colors in their titles. They may or may not have anything to do with the content of the show. We will see what we come up with. All right. Who would like to begin this journey into the magic of the rainbow that is Asian dramas with colors in their titles?
I can.
All right.
Want to go backwards?
Scat, go to Color Town, Scat. All right.
I'm going to admit that I probably like these both equally. So
okay.
They're both just very different.
What was your runners up for?
Let's just say Yellow is the title.
That's certainly a color. That's certainly a color.
We can definitely say that is the title. Okay.
It's a drama web series.
Okay.
It was, I feel like I might have seen it on Kokowa, which means it's probably on Viki too at this point. And it's probably likely on YouTube, but don't quote me on that. Because it's a newer, it might have, I don't think it was Playlist Global, but it might have been. It was about a little band, like a band of friends, and then each episode they would kind of zero in on certain aspects of the relationships between the members and like either their girlfriends or whatever. But it was really cute, and each episode was kind of titled, I want to say it was a song title. Like I remember there was like a Coldplay song title for one episode, and then they kept on trying to use that as the theme for the episode a little bit. It was just really cute. The main lead fella kid, he is in a lot of stuff. Recently, he's kind of the loose cannon type in a lot of the school shows recently. I'm trying to think of what his name was. Let me pull it up.
Kim Do-won?
Yeah, Kim Do-won. Let me go see what he was in.
Okay.
It does say on my drama list that it is on Playlist Global, so it probably is on YouTube.
So he was in Moment at 18. He was in 12 Nights. Okay, so we all watched 12 Nights. He was the son, the teenage son.
Great.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then in a lot of the other recent kind of school shows, so like he was in the My Roommate is a Gumiho. Like he's kind of a little bit of a loose cannon type character usually. Anyway, he was really good in the show. It was really good. It was a charming little web series.
It looks good.
It's not, you know how some of those Playlist Global, definitely the school type, they're a little bit more like really cheery and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yellow was a pretty mellow go, in my opinion, since they were trying to get that band, a little bit of grungy going for them. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I really liked it. Easy to find.
Nice.
Always good.
That's always good.
Always nice.
So before I talk about my runners-up, I have like a question for all of you. How much do you love dramatic opening credit music? Like, I mean,
immediately what
real
you're going to talk about
dramatic opening credit music.
I'm writing it down before you even say it.
Yeah. Well, if you really like dramatic opening credit music, especially dramatic opening credit music that has very little, if nothing, to do with what you're about to watch, then you will love the opening credit music of the Thai show Dark Blue Kiss, which is literally it has the greatest opening credits / the worst opening credits that the most dramatic soap opera-y, like, I need to like set the scene for you. this dramatic like violin music starts to play. It's like dun, 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 dun. And there's just like this room with like curtains, like blue curtains blowing in an invisible wind, and people just like step out from beyond the curtains and like dramatically look around. And but that is not what you get, because Dark Blue Kiss is actually a very nice little show that follows two different couples, one of whom is a set of college students, two boys, who are in love but secretly hiding their relationship from all of their friends. And then the other one is this very nice cafe owner and this sort of hooligan who goes to work with him. Anyway, it's very nice. It's on YouTube, which means it's free. Watch whenever you would like. It's another GMMTV offering. It has a pretty big profile, like, so GMMTV has a lot of, they're called Kujin couples, so they're basically like fake couples that make a lot of shows together. It's sort of like Max Toll from Manor of Death. So this is a Tainu. They're like one of their big three of the, you know.
Yeah.
And they're excellent, but really it's the second storyline that really makes the show really good, which is like the openly gay cafe owner, and he's bi, but he don't know it yet. Hooligan character who is, you know, it's fun, and it's very romantic and sweet. It's nice. Lots of good characters. It is actually a sequel to another series, which is not as good. I will say that. It's not bad, but like it's just not as good, which is just Kiss Me. I think that's what it's called, right? Or just Kiss?
Kiss? I think it's just Kiss.
And then I think there's another one. No, you don't have to watch it at all.
No.
They're not, and I think there's even like a
Although
third
I enjoy Kiss.
one.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
So it's kind of more like closer to a spin-off than
Yeah.
so you could like
Yeah,
still
yeah,
get it.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I
like
think it kind of takes place at the same time, some scenes.
Yeah, so it's like in basically in like Kiss, you find out how the two main couple met. It's like a real enemies to lovers thing. And then in Dark Blue Kiss, they're like an established couple, but like you don't actually need to know because they'll summarize it for you. Like, don't worry, it's GMMTV. They just want you to watch no matter. They're gonna make it easy for you to see it. It's cute. It's pretty cute. Lots of fun little side characters. One really awful, you know, there's always one really awful side character that's just like, why are you the way you are? That's like what you ask. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. And if you like, you know, other GMMTV stuff, you'll probably like it. Like, they're pretty consistent with their, you know, output of what you're getting. But yeah. What about you, Jesse, with your runner-up?
I'm gonna switch things up and talk about a movie. It is sadly now probably not accessible anywhere, but when I watched it, it was on Netflix. So maybe there's hope that I'll come back, especially because Netflix now loves him. And it's the movie Red Carpet. It stars Yoon K-sang, who was in just recently Chocolate, the series.
I really like that movie. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, and then Go Joon-hee, who was in Possessed. She was the main lead, female lead in that, and she's been in a bunch of other things. Both of them have. And also Chan Sung is in it. And it's literally the reason I watched the movie, because for a while Netflix had him in the little like, you know, icon thing, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch it. It is a movie that like I really think you should all watch before judging, because I feel like you would judge this movie. The movie is about a director who he's a porn director, but he had hopes of becoming an actual director. It just never panned out, and it's like doing porn was the only way for him to get to do anything in his craft. And without giving too much about the storyline, it's this really great movie about pursuing your dreams no matter the like circumstances and whoever is, you know, kind of trying to stop you or like persuade you from that, and like believing in yourself. And just also the reality that there will always be people there for you, even if they're not like your like direct family. There's like a really great solid found family in this between like the director and just like his assistant who's Chan Sung, and then some of like the porn actors. It's you think it's gonna be one way, and it's got a little bit of comedy in it, but it's just this really like sweet and heartwarming like story. And
it's literally the cutest movie about porn ever made.
It like, really is. It was shocking when like because I hadn't really like read up on it when I first watched it, but when I sat there, I was like, oh, this is really good. This is actually like really, really good. And it just like, I think everything in it ties really well. Like the tone in it is really good. Like when it's funny, it doesn't seem out of, like, it's not wacky in terms of like super ups and downs in the movie. It's honestly, if you can like find it and watch it, I really think you should watch it. And maybe because they keep on putting Chan Sung's dramas on Netflix now, that they'll like bring back this movie, which Netflix has brought back stuff, so it's possible. But yeah, that's my runner-up. I really think you should watch it.
It's good.
Cool. My runner-up is one that we have talked about a fair bit on this show in the past. We even have a whole episode about it. It would be The Golden Eyes, which starring Lei as a mystical antiques dealer. Granted the magical power of antiques, and goes on many boring and also not so boring magical adventures into the world of gem auctions and art auctions and
into the world of antique dealing.
Yeah, you know what? I just really enjoyed it. Is it longer than it needs to be? Probably. Most C-dramas are. But it's really, one of the things that I really dug about it, and I didn't realize until I was about halfway through, was that like it's kind of divided into like 5 or 6 episode segments or 10 episode segments. So I can't remember how many episodes it was, and each segment has its own like credit set. So if you're watching it and you're thinking, I'm kind of getting bored or whatever, once the opening credits change, you've come to the end of one of your stories. So you could put it on the shelf. You could pause for a bit and then watch the next like story that comes out. It's all one big story, but it has like these little segments within it. You know, this one's going to be about Jade, and this one's about traveling in the woods or something. Like, but it's just enjoyable. There's a little bit of romance, but that's not sort of the main focus of it. It's more just about friends and antiques and magical eyeballs, and it's just fun.
Oh, the magical eyeballs. The magical eyeballs.
It's a fun one. And the special effects aren't bad for it either, which is, you know, a plus. If you want to know more, you can go back and listen to our episode where we all talked about that.
So those were our runner-up, which means that we have other ones. I know you thought, oh, what a short episode. They're done. No, we're not done. We're continuing on.
We talk too much to be done right now.
Yeah.
Are you new here? Come on now.
Podcast episode. So now we're going into our second recommendations. I'm sure we got some spicy ones lined up. Some good ones. We got some ones lined up for you.
Ones.
We got some ones.
We got some ones.
we sure do. We sure do. You want to reverse the reverse. Amanda,
sure.
You're up again.
Okay. my number one color named drama is a short one. It's a web drama. It's called Romance Blue. It stars Park Min-woo, who hasn't been in anything for a few years now because he was in a really bad motorcycle accident. He appears to be on the mend, but there's not a lot about him out there. But I hope that he comes back to Dramaland because I miss his cute little dimples. But Romance Blue is just, it's a really interesting little short story. Not a rom-com, but just a romance about a guy whose job is dating women. Like, he's sort of an escort, but like, his main thing is not necessarily taking you to like being your arm candy for the work dinner or whatever. It's more like he provides romance. He will, you pay him and he will be your boyfriend. He will show up and bring you flowers and take you out to dinner and just make you feel good about yourself. Maybe you need this post breakup or something. You just want somebody to do well for a while, and he will do that for you. He's also doing it for, 5 or 6 other women at the same time, and there doesn't appear to be any sex involved. He's just dating women for money. And he meets this woman who writes letters for a living, and she'll write love letters, she'll write breakup letters, she'll write job application letters, she'll write just pleasant letters. Your handwriting is bad and you want somebody else to write the letter for you. But mostly she buys really nice stationery. She really loves the art of letter writing. And basically you sit down and tell her, like, these are the thoughts and the feelings I want to have go out to this other person. And then she makes it into a beautiful poetry of a letter for you to mail off to your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your mom or your grandma or whatever. And so because of this, they're both kind of jaded when it comes to real romance, and like, because they both think romance is fake. So they're a little jaded about that, but then they meet each other. I can't remember if they like move in near each other or something, but for whatever reason, they meet and keep meeting and kind of have this connection to each other. And it's just kind of a very soft, slow sort of show. And I just really, really enjoyed it. Like, just loved everything about it. So I don't know. I rated a 9.5 in my drama list. So something about it kept me from giving it a 10, but I don't remember what. So maybe just because it was so short and I wished it was longer. I don't know. But it's quite good, quite enjoyable.
So if I'm going to be honest with you, right now, currently, my favorite drama that has a color name is the OTV Rust server. That is all I watch. That is all I do. 100%. Yes. I could talk to you about anything that is going down on those servers. The like first server and now the new split server. Let me know. Except now I don't follow the second server. I just follow the
So what does OTV mean?
Offline TV.
I don't.
Offline TV is a group of just gamers. They're just like a collective. They have like a group of friends, and one of the like friends is actually the one who set up. So it's kind of like the core Offline TV crew is only like 6 people, and most of the time none of them are in these servers. It's just all their friends. It was like created as a way to get their friends who are all streamers too. They all stream on various platforms. Get them to be able to experience Rust, because if you I'm not going to explain Rust because I don't think we should. It's like we're on an Asian entertainment podcast, but Rust is not a game that like allows for fun play because it's a PvP. Mm-hmm. You're going to die instantly, constantly, and if you're not into that kind of like thing, and because you game on open servers, and so this was a way for the group to be able to play Rust and get to like figure out Rust, and then possibly use the time for content for their channels too, because they're also all businesses and stuff, and they're all making money off of this. But also there just always seemed like a good amount of space for role play involved, and that group and all their friends it's for them to experience the game without the open server world.
I also
13-year-old kids.
Yeah, I also watch a Rust series, but it's a different Rust series where it has seasons, and it's this guy named Mr. Fruit, who I think just joined the OTV server.
He's one of I think he's either in the Cat Clan or the Cult Church.
Yeah, he just joined, but he had a previous series with his friends where it starts out with them on a public server, and it just goes hilariously wrong. So then they set up their own server where they start their own cult. Well, they don't start it. His other friends start their own cult church called the All Stars. And the reason they're called the All-Stars is because when they first come across them, they're all wearing antler horns and blaring Smash Mouth's All-Star over the public, mic. So they were like, what the fuck? And they didn't, so that's on YouTube. If you just look up Mr. Fruit Rust, it'll come up. And I think these guys are all streaming on Twitch too, eh? You're the OTV, a bunch of them?
OTV... Almost all of them stream on Twitch. One streams on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And then there are other people who are in the server that also do YouTube streaming.
Yeah.
But all in the gaming sections of each of them. Facebook has a gaming live stream section. So I was watching someone who did a 24-hour stream. Most of them have been doing 14-hour streams just because they get super into it, and they're like, oh my god, it's been 14 hours, oh my god.
No, I get like that too. When I've
been there with a video game before.
But if you're super interested, it's all over Twitch right now, so you'll probably see it. And then also there's a bunch of different clips, Sykkuno, Corpse, Valkyrie, Fusili, Ash, Jay from Day 6 is part of the whole thing. They're
see there, you brought it around.
I didn't bring it around. There we go. That's my time. So to bring it back to actual things that we should be talking about on this Asian Entertainment podcast, if I'm being honest, White Christmas is going to be my number one drama with the color in it. But I feel I've talked about it. Also, I didn't know if someone else needed to pick it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. Someone else can have it. And I thought I would talk about one of the offerings from the drama anthology that had just recently aired, SF8. There was one episode called White Crow that I think everyone should watch if you haven't, because I feel like that series or that collection of drama specials got some hype to them, but I don't feel like a lot of people have been really consistently talking about them. So I feel like it kind of is one of those things that people probably just forgot about it, and it was oh yeah, I wanted to watch that. White Crow in the series is the horror offering of it. It's kind of got a big psychological thriller. It stars Hani from EXID, and she essentially plays this person. Oh, I am bringing it back around because she's a streamer in this drama special. Whatever I said, I made it intentional. I'm just that good at podcasting.
Yeah. You took us all on a journey, and we made it back.
I wrapped it around.
Fantastic.
She's a streamer, and it's set in the future because the whole series of shows are sci-fi based, but it's set in the future. She's a life streamer, and it's in a world where literally she could go around her entire house and still keep up the chat feed and the thing going, and it's just everywhere. And things happen, and someone brings up a thing that potentially is from her past that kind of leads her to kind of fall from her popularity, and her managers decide to put her in this reality show game thing to bring her back in popularity. And it's focused on just having basically streamers or that sort of popular person on this game. And it's this virtual reality game where you put in the pod, you put in all of your virtual reality gear, and you have to finish the game. and things go wrong when she's in this reality. And a lot of it, like things happen. It's not a long episode, so I can't tell you much about that sort of thing, but it does kind of tie into the past of what happened to her, like especially like when she was in like high school. So it's not the best in horror offerings, but I think it was like a really cool thing to do for this anthology series, and I think Hani does a really great job in it too. I think she does really well. Like I feel like the role could have gotten really wonky, and I thought that she did a really good job in it. And you know, if you're like kind of like wanting the kind of horror psychological thriller and this like tiny hour and 10-minute long show, it's a good option. And it is currently on Kokowa. I'm assuming it's on Viki too. I watched it on Kokowa, and then I know it kind of like they had pushed it when this was airing. They pushed it on a lot of like the film festivals, because I saw it popping around on some of the online film festivals. So I'm sure it's gonna be like accessible in other areas too. It just hasn't been out for that long, but that's my number one pick.
Very cool. Very cool.
Both my number one picks.
For mine, I have another question for you ladies. Do you like being like fenced in by genres? Or would, if you were, you know, just out there, would you rather watch a show that's like a billion genres in one? It's got it all. It's got romance, it's got a little bit of comedy, it's got a little bit of horror, it's got some supernatural, it's got modern, it's got Sangok, it's got it all. Well, I would like to introduce to you the very bizarre offering that is the show Orange Marmalade. Now I know this show will not make it to the top of many people's lists. However, I actually really liked it. It's weird, it's fresh. It's got what's his face in it, deep voice me.
Eugene Gu,
who was like really young in it, and his voice rolls in like thunder, and you're very confused. So the reason I originally watched Orange Marmalade was because I had just watched the movie Hawaii Monster Boy, which also stars him when he was like teeny, and he's still like he was like 13 with like his like
man voice.
So I was like, what the? So when I watched Hawaii Monster Boy, great movie, by the way, very weird horror movie, great. I was like, why did they cast this like clearly like 30-year-old man by his voice to play like a 14-year-old? And then I looked him up, and he was actually 14, and I was like, what? I was like, no. But then I saw like, you know, because back, you're on the internet. This was probably the year it came out, which is 2015. This was 5 years ago. I was like, well, I need to see what else he's in. And this show came up. So the plot of this show is that vampires and humans coexist together, but they kind of hate each other. And people, humans are very distrustful of vampires because they're like, any opportunity they get, they're gonna murder us. Like, we know it. So they're like hate criming vampires, essentially. It follows this girl, Beck Marie, played by Silhan, who's excellent in it, who is a vampire, but she's pretending to be human and attending a human school and like fighting her vampiric urges. But then she meets, Eugene Gu's character, and she wants to bite him so bad. She's like, she wants to bite him so bad, but he hates vampires. So she gets to, she doesn't want to like kill bite him. She wants to, sexy bite him. There's this whole plot. You're going through it. You make it halfway through the show. Here's where everything takes a friggin' turn, okay? Because then it decides that it's going to tell you the entire history of the vampire-human conflict halfway through the show, taking you 300 years in the past, where all the characters are played by the same actors, but playing these characters in what is now a Seguk for like a bunch of episodes, and then you're brought back to the this show is a wild ride, okay? And I understand why many people don't like it, okay? I actually get that. However, I think it's better than people say it is. Like, I feel like people like to sort of, you know, shit on the show a little bit. But it's really, like, it's an interesting show. And they made some choices. You know what I mean? Like, when you're watching something, you're like, that was a choice. This show, the entire show was a choice. And I gotta appreciate their attempt at bold, before its time, non-sequential narrative storytelling. Like, they tried something, and I think the world wasn't ready for this style of teen vampire romance, you know? But anyway, I don't even know where it's playing anymore. I
think it's around.
It's
I feel
around.
like I've seen it on Viki, but that's
see.
not like recently. I just one time. I'm not gonna lie, just as a like side note, you saying 2015 was 5 years ago made my heart jump.
I know. It is on Viki. Just know you're going in for a weird ride if you go into this. I personally like it, so if you like sort of weird stuff that you're gonna be like,
Also, sounds enjoyable to watch if you have maybe some booze on board too, I would think.
Sure, and it's actually beautifully shot. Like, it's the opening scene of it. Like, I just picked it randomly, as I said, because I wanted to see him in other things, because I was intrigued by the fact that his voice is the deepest voice on the planet. You just followed
his voice.
So I wasn't really expecting too much, because it's, you know, it's a teen vampire show. Like, come on, like, okay. But the opening sequence, it got me. The opening scene of the show, I was like, oh shit. Oh. So it's like horror, but it's not like horror. Like, it's not scary. There is some blood in it, obviously. So if you are, you know, that is a problem for you, maybe don't watch it. But I do like, there's one little side thing that I always thought was really funny, because so in order to hide the fact that she's a vampire, at lunchtime, instead of eating with everyone else at this school where she's the only non-human, she pretends she's on a diet and drinks tomato juice. Like,
quote unquote, she's air quoting that you cannot see, listeners.
Juice box tomato juice. Tomato juice and blood don't really look that similar.
Not really.
Nope.
No.
But it's fine.
It's fine. You know.
It's fine. Anyway, I really enjoyed the show. I know that a lot of people had some problems with it, but I just think it was ahead of its time.
It's based on a manga or something, isn't it?
It is based on a webtoon. So, and the web, you know, and it's the sort of, they decided to go with the style of storytelling that webtoons have, that like really works for webtoons, but often confuses people who don't read webtoons because they're not
on webtoon. The webtoon.
Yeah, I think it is, because like, you know, in webtoons you can jump between time periods and everyone's, you
cool
know,
with it.
like, okay, cool. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people who aren't used to that style get confused.
Well, it could have, like, in a webtoon, it could have been a second season or something too, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
They get chopped up into seasons. And,
yeah, where it's like, now we're going to go into the, but it's, you know, it's just a standard drama. Like, you can only do so much, but it's got like a really good cast and like faces you will recognize. So anyway,
and voices.
It. Oh, and one voice in particular. Thunder rolling over the hills. This young-faced little man. It's like if you're not familiar with him, but you know who Stray Kids are, Felix. Just imagine Felix, but like in actor form. Like,
but
you look at me like that. Felix looks even younger than his voice, though.
But Felix doesn't constantly sound in
That's true.
register.
Felix,
he can have his normal voice too.
Yujingu cannot. He just
right. He just has his low register. That's all he has.
I just remember being blown away. What about you, Sky? What was your number one?
So I will start with my pick, but then I'll talk about White Christmas because White Christmas is acceptable. Accessible. So
you're welcome.
I went. I first though, I do want to talk about the Taiwanese movie More Than Blue.
That was on my list.
Yeah, I knew that Jesse watched it because we watched it for the Jasper Lou episode. But really good movie. I was double checking and I can literally not find it anywhere right now for you to go watch. I can't even find where I went and watched it. I have no idea. So that's why I don't want to talk about it too much. It is a sad movie, sad as heck. Really, really good. Like, such good acting. Every single person was just brilliant. Great writing. I really, really do recommend it. Hopefully, it would be a great one just for Netflix to have someday. I imagine it probably will at some point. So it's actually a remake of, there was a Korean movie, More Than Blue. And then they did the Taiwanese movie in 2018. And they're actually going to be making a drama version soon. So we'll see. Which I can't imagine it being drama version. Like, that's really difficult for me to grasp given how they...
Yeah. I mean, just prepare for it to be a really heart-wrenching mellow. That's the only option it has.
Yeah. So, but really well done. And it makes you just feel very human when you watch that show. Like, movie. It's just really, really great. That's why I don't want to talk about it too much, because I don't think you can find it anywhere right now. White Christmas. We did an episode on it, so go check out our episode.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with Christmas. Do not think that. We have said that before, but no, really, it has nothing to do with Christmas.
Really has nothing to do with Christmas.
Other than happening over Christmas break. Like, that's the only premise of that. But really, really good. Go check it out. Even if you usually don't go for, like, suspense stuff, like, it's just really well paced and stuff, I think that people would really enjoy it.
Yeah, it has a good core group. It's the model group, whatever they call them.
Well, and it's a really good introduction to, so for people that have maybe started watching dramas lately, like the past couple of years or few years, you might be familiar with some of these people, but some of them have kind of been in the military of recent. You'll know that they've been around, but you might have not even seen them in that many dramas the past few years. So, but you'll know that they're big names. So then going back and learning and seeing them when they were younger and how good they were even then, like, oh, this is why they became big names. And a lot of them were, they were like, they were a friend group too, like a lot of the models and stuff.
It's the Model Avengers or something. They actually have a known in the press type of nickname. Just like last year, like towards the end of the year, 2 of them have finally come out of enlistment. So you'll be seeing
I imagine we'll be seeing more of them. But for people that don't, haven't seen many of their dramas, it's a really good drama to like kind of check off all those boxes. Like, oh, I've seen these people now.
Like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
That dude. Oh,
and
boobs.
And it's accessible. You can find it, I think, on Vicky and Kokowa. Is probably my guess.
On Kokowa,
and then you can listen to us wax poetic about it in a podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I've said it like multiple times. So like, you should re-listen to all our old podcasts and then find it somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great use of your time.
But listen, I think we got several more months of this life ahead of us. So
yeah, if you're busy doom scrolling, you can just listen to us be silly in the meantime. It works.
In the background, half listen to us. We don't care.
We're here for you. We just want to bring a little bit of levity into your day, chatting about stuff that we love. Because what's really nice when the world seems dark? listening to people who genuinely love something talk about how much they love it.
Oh, I was going to do a mention of a crossover for a second.
Ah, yes. Crossover.
Legend of the Blue Sea.
Yes.
We all, on different episodes, we guested over on K-Bay podcast.
We love them. We love
when
the
they were
K-Bay.
recapping Legend of the Blue Sea. So
them and their chaotic good times. It's pure chaos. It's fun.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good drama. So, you know.
Yeah.
Are they? How
I
many
think
episodes is in that drama?
I
20.
feel like they're still
almost
cranking
done.
it out.
They've got like one more episode.
I feel like it was like they're very, very close to the end of the recap. So if you are the person that didn't want to watch it until after they've recapped everything, that would be a good time to start listening to their episodes.
Because I think they originally expected to be done right about Christmas or the end of the end of the year, but then they took a couple weeks off because it was 2020.
Life.
Hey.
You know, we get it, man. We get it.
We
episode 20 is out, so they have done 20 episodes. They watched the final episode, so the most recent episode, all the episodes are out there in the world.
And I will say that, like, they've had other guests too, as well, throughout the series, and everyone is varying in how they went about participating in the series. Like, some people came in knowing everything about the drama and of watching it. Some people came in having watched up to their episode. I came in only watching that one random episode, but then they also have non-Asian drama watchers coming on, which is a fun perspective and things.
They've got, I think, the guests they had for episode 20, they've had in the past for their final episodes, and this person doesn't watch anything else and doesn't watch any K-dramas and just comes in and watches the final episode. And so then they'll be like, I listened to them on the final episode of their Abyss recap, and she's like, so what's that ball? And they're like, oh, well, we've got to tell you a lot. Yeah.
Speaking of non-Asian drama watchers, I have a bit of a victory that I've had in my life over this past 2020, and that is I converted the most unlikely individual to the K-drama world that you could imagine. So my good friend who I work with, her husband is a 45-year-old Quebecois man who's a bodybuilder who sells gym equipment and teaches yoga. He's real manly, plays hockey with the bros sort of things. We were stuck in quarantine together. And I was like, hey, Phil, do you want to come watch a show with me? We're going to be together for a while. I'm sleeping in your living room. You might as well, come watch a show.
I'm already here.
So we watched Kingdom. He loved it. Then we watched Voice. He loved it. Then we watched Bad Guys. He loved it. So then I go home, okay? We watched some other stuff too. I go home. Months have passed, okay? His wife goes away to visit family over the holidays. She quarantined, tested negative, all that. No worries. I get a random text message from my friend's husband. Just out of nowhere on December 26th, he goes, hey, have you seen Uncanny Counter on Netflix yet? It's really good. And I was like, hell yeah, Phil. It's great. Have you watched Sweet Home yet? He's like, I'm adding it to the list. So I'm talking with his wife, my friend Danny, the other day, and I was just saying there was this other project that I'm working on for and other things that I mentioned, people over 30 who love K-pop. And she's like, speaking of people over 30 who like K-dramas and stuff, you got my husband. He won't stop.
Got him.
And I was like, woo!
That's how it works.
I was like, Danny, you better just start watching them with him.
Once you're in, you're in.
You're in for life.
It's catching.
You're in the club, my dude. So anyway, that was just a little personal victory that I thought everyone would enjoy, that now this 45-year-old bodybuilder is like French bodybuilder just fucking loves K-dramas now. He can't, like, anytime there's a new one, regardless of genre on Netflix, because that's all he has, right? He's like, oh, I gotta watch this one. So we got him. We got him, lads.
Victory for us.
Yes, we did it. We did it.
So I noticed looking at our list of colors that we are missing green and purple. Although we could probably give dark blue kiss, be indigo, and you know, but we have no green. So if you're listening and you have a beloved green drama or movie, let us know.
That I dropped.
That doesn't count. We need a good one.
A good one that you enjoyed. Then let us know so we can complete our rainbow.
I feel like blue is very popular because I also considered the movie Blue Hour. But then I was like, no, that's way too weird for me to pull out.
It's one of those colors that is associated to feelings more than the others.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
That's true. Because even in the description for romance blue, that's what it says, is that the term romance blue has to do with the feeling of sadness that you might have, like melancholy, before moving into a new relationship or something. So it's like clearly a term that they have. So, but anyway, I'm surprised we didn't have any black either.
Because I dropped that one.
I came across that. I was like going through my like completed dramas, and I saw black just there, and I was like, no.
I gave that one a good try. I think I was like on episode 6 or 7.
And then I'm continuing on, and then I see the drama Black Knight, and I was like, no, I'm out. Like, I was like, no, we good.
Yeah.
I watched a couple episodes of Black Dog. It actually is a really good show. I just didn't have the brain space for it at the time. It's about teachers.
Okay.
It's actually like, it kind of follows a new teacher, but then it closely follows the teachers around her and kind of all of the trials of that. And it was also heartwarming too, but like showed how difficult it was to help the students how they wanted to help the students within kind of a corrupt system and all the things that they had to deal with. And it felt very realistic too. So actually, having only watched a couple episodes of it, I do recommend Black Dog. I've heard really good things from the people that have watched it. So
I could kind of cheat in a also known as Blackout movie, warning, do not play, I watched.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there was anything green.
I know, when I looked up, I was like, none of these green things.
The top 2 green things are like wanting things sexually, blah blah blah. It's like I would have not associated that with green, but
the one that I'm talking about is Green Door. It's a Taiwanese horror thriller.
That one.
It is available on Netflix. It's like, people like it. I'm just not the odd one out or whatever. It's only 6 episodes too, so.
And you said
there's
purple?
One called Green Light that looks like something Natalia would like.
No, it doesn't. It looks like someone wrote an EXO fan fiction and then managed to get it made into a low-budget movie, is what it looks like.
Yep. Yeah, it really does. Like,
and by really does, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Their names are Sehun and Baekhyun, so
which at the time was a very popular ship. So I don't.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man.
There was Drama Special Season 1 back in 2010. The Angel of Death comes with purple high heels.
That sounds good. I want to see an Angel of Death in purple heels.
The story of a struggling manhwa artist, his long-suffering partner at the publishing company who has feelings for him, and a strange 19-year-old girl dressed in a ridiculous costume.
That sounds fun. I might go look that one up.
Yeah. It's probably over on YouTube, right? All those
Probably.
drama
It might
specials.
be, although it is the season 1, so that would be the season that would have the least likely.
Season 1, I think I watched one of them, but they're not, the season 1 ones on KBS World are not like put together in a nice, neat playlist, as easily to find as some of the other seasons. But I like the little purple.
So
Yeah, that's cute.
There's one that appears to have come out in 2020, a Chinese drama called The Age of Green Lady, which is a Nuna romance. I'm sure there's an actual Chinese version of
we need to figure out the name of that.
Anyway, this has been another fantastic episode of Certified Noonas, where we talked about shows with colors in the names. Are they about colors? No. But did we enjoy watching them, and did they fill our hearts with the color of joy? Yes, they did. Anyway, we hope that you have a fantastic week and are staying safe and are taking some time for some self-care. Remember to wash your hands and wear a mask if you leave the house, because though the vaccines have started to roll out, we are still in the middle of a pandemic, and we want y'all to stay safe and healthy for years to come. Thank you for listening to us. You can listen to us wherever podcasts can be found, pretty much. And if you want to see all the links and show notes to everything that we talked about, you can go to our website, CertifiedNoonas.com, and they're all there on the episode post. We also have a playlist every Wednesday. We put out what song we're listening to, each of us, and so that we have an official Certified Noonas Spotify thing, so there's links to that on the website. And we also have a My Drama list where we put the list of every other shows that we talk about. If you want to look them up and see other people's reviews and everything, you can check that out there. And if you want to become an official sponsor of this podcast, you can go to kl-fi.com/CertifiedNoonas to become an official member of the Certified Fan family and, help out this little podcast that could, as it were. Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week and keep enjoying Asian entertainment. Bye!
Bye!
Bye!